The most precious of gifts, listening. Recently, I wrote a post on my blog about dealing with the noise, busyness, and general chaos of the Christmas season. Our involvement in the many worthwhile activities of decorating, cooking, entertaining, party hopping, buying and wrapping gifts, sending cards, volunteering our time and treasures to charities, and spending time with our families can make our heads spin. I proposed that a renewed focus on the season of Advent, with its call to simplicity and quiet, would make a wonderful antidote. A reader responded with an unexpected comment. "I have the opposite problem," she says. "I would love a bit of noise and chaos at Christmas." Jay described her situation of caring for a homebound mother and a disabled husband, with other family members living too far away to visit. Suddenly, my assumption that a quiet Christmas was best for everyone felt arbitrary. Quiet can assume many forms, including loneliness and isolation. I immediately wrote back to Jay, attempting to offer some consolation. I wanted to do something to mitigate her circumstance. In the writing, I realized that I too understood the ramifications of a Christmas gone quiet. My own family circle has grown noticeably smaller over the years, with my parents gone and my sister, brother-in-law, and nephews scattered across the country. Although the circumstances were different, Jay and I ended up sharing a common problem. Jay responded to my letter, opening up about her situation. Because of her husband's disability, it is nearly impossible for them to visit friends. In fact, in order to see her mother on Christmas Day, she has to leave him behind. She waxed nostalgic on the past, writing, "We had such a lovely time with the cousins and aunts and uncles when I was a child, and when we lived closer by." She wrote of longing to help others, of getting a tree only to leave it unadorned, and of the futility of buying gifts when no one really needed anything. She gently berated herself in her longing for Christmases past full of Santa Claus, gifts, and overeating. As a teacher in the Methodist Church, she is keenly aware of the true meaning of the day. However, as we continued to write back and forth, I noticed her mood quickly shifting from laments to gratitude. Jay began recounting her blessings, most notably the love she has for her husband and mother. I could feel the warmth of that love coming across the Atlantic from her home in Ipswich, England, to mine in North Grafton, Massachusetts. It was then that I began to understand the power behind listening. I had entered into the correspondence assuming my usual role of problem solver. I was going to make everything better. It soon became clear, however, that I was meant to be a friend, to listen to and acknowledge another person's life story. It was not about me solving a problem and looking like a hero. It was about Jay needing someone to be fully present, listening with mind and heart. Paying attention to her life rather than mine required humility. Yet once I surrendered to the idea, I could see God's grace unfolding. The focus of our letters changed from melancholic remembrances to gratitude for the blessings we both enjoy. Gratitude fueled action, with Jay vowing to get into the spirit by attending a couple of get-together lunches and taking in a local concert of carols presented by our town's brass band. I, in turn, volunteered to join a group of Christmas carolers in our parish and inquired about taking communion to nursing home residents. Jay and I are exchanging gifts through the mail. Listening has turned strangers into friends. Our correspondences caused me to examine myself. Why do I insist on giving people what I would not want for myself? When I share my heart with someone, I don't want judgment or unsolicited advice or easy answers. Many problems can't be solved, but rather must be endured. I just want a sympathetic ear. Doesn't it make sense then that sometimes my family and friends, neighbors, and even strangers just want someone to accept where they are at that very moment and sit close by saying nothing? I experienced this recently as another friend shared with me the pain of watching her best friend slip away behind the fog of dementia. I empathized, recalling my mother's mental deterioration and personality change, but decided it was just best to let her talk. We ended our conversation in silence, looking at each other with misty eyes. Jay taught me how to do that. If I were to sit on Santa's knee, I would say, St. Nicholas, please help the Lord to help me grow in grace as a good listener. For listening is one of the most precious gifts we can give to each other.